I turned my sandcastle into a weapon of mass destruction. I pressed the last bit of sand into it and completed my recreation of the Colosseum. I had osteoporosis, meaning I had to work twice as hard to build something half as good as the other kids. I placed my hands on my knees and pushed myself up, and tears rolled down my eyes as I admired my hard work. But then my school bully came sprinting. His eyes were locked onto my Colosseum, and he wound up his leg. He kicked the center of it, and I watched the sand break, and Brad immediately started jumping on it to flatten the rest. I tried to stop him, but he shoved me hard, and I fell shoulder first into the sand. My bones instantly bruised, and I winced in pain as Brad ruined the whole sandcastle. Then he stood over me and laughed. "Your bones are more brittle than your castle. Now stay down, or I'll break them next." He walked off, while I sobbed with sand covering my mouth and nostrils. My body was so weak I could barely get up, but I was also so angry I cried. I marched towards the rocks and grabbed the biggest one. My arms struggled and everything hurt, but I carried the rock back. I dropped it and collapsed, thinking I would die. But then I saw Brad destroy another kid's sandcastle and got back up. I grabbed another rock, then another. Soon I had a pile. I was exhausted and my arms were raw, but I began pressing another sandcastle around my rocks. The hot sand burned my blistered hands, but I kept going. When all the rocks were covered, I pushed myself up to admire my work. I stood exhausted as Brad came running again. He grinned and wound up his leg, launching it full force into my sandcastle. A loud crack echoed through the whole beach. He collapsed to the ground, his foot flopping around like the bones had been disconnected. Tears instantly started flowing from his face as he screamed, "My leg, my leg." I slowly knelt down beside him and leaned in his ear. "Turns out, it's your bones that are more brittle than my castle."